Good evening all. Wow, weather here for liveweatherblogs.com, and we're going to take a look at the tropics here. As I promised, I'll be getting a video out. This is from weatherunderground.com. You can see Tropical Storm Helen here in the Bay of Campeche, very close to land. Take a look at her in a minute. Tropical Storm Gordon and 94L out here in the far eastern Atlantic, which will have to be watched, and I'll show you why in a moment. Let's take a look at Helen since it's the closest to land right now. Go to the satellite. All this again on weatherunderground.com, presented to you by them, and you can clearly see it. Here's your circulation right here, and the thunderstorm's kind of waning and dying here, and we're in a kind of a dying mode right now. But the circulation is right there, very close to land, and latest is that it's moving north at 2. So kind of paralleling the coast, if you would, and chances are it's going to be moving inland here before it has too much more time to develop. Now there is a model or two that want to kind of bring it up this way, and we'll see about that. Right now it seems to be is destined to move inland. 45-mile-per-hour winds, again moving north at 2, and 1,006 millibars. So it is a weak tropical storm. Nonetheless, it's going to spread lots of heavy rain down here in New Mexico, maybe up here into, maybe it gets as far north as South Texas. Doesn't look like it is right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. If we're in Texas, though, I think right now, for the time being, it's going to be dry, and we'll say most of this will stay to the south. Let's go out here and check out Gordon. Gordon's out here in the middle of the Atlantic. Really no threat to anyone right yet, except if you are in the Azores, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. Tropical Tropical Storm Gordon moving off to the east at 19, pressure 993 millibars, so it is a lot better organized than Helen was over there. Clearly, you can almost see that there was an eye there right before the sun was going down, and you can see right about there, looked like an eye was starting to form. Racing off to the east at 19 again. And the places in its path as we go into the 5-day forecast, these islands out here are the Azores. Looks to be passing over them as a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm, and gusty winds and heavy rain headed for the Azores. Right now, least but not last, but maybe more importantly down the road, we're going to take a look at this Invest 94L. A couple of things going on here. This just coming off of the African continent in the last day or so. It's southwest of the Cape Verde Islands here. It does have a pretty good circulation. I was looking at the water vapor map, and it is sending out a fairly good plume of moisture out in front of it to combat the Saharan dust that's been coming off of the African continent up toward the deserts up there. So this does have a chance to survive and make it across and become, perhaps, as some of the models are showing, a major hurricane coming up later next week. Right now, moving off to the west at 19, with winds of 25 miles per hour. I would not be shocked if this became tropical depression and a tropical storm fairly quickly out here in the next 2 to 3 days or so. And if it did, it would become Tropical Storm Isaac. Now, with that said, let's take a look and see where the models, the computer models, want to do with this. And if you see, most of them are in agreement. Keep it between 10 and 15 degrees north, and then move it to 55 west. It's out in here that it starts getting itself really put together again. And we'll have to see where the troughs are lining up in the Atlantic and along the east coast to see where this thing is heading, along with the high pressure to the north, obviously. But some of the models are keeping a fairly strong system moving in this direction. And, one of those models is the latest GFS, and the GFS has been showing something over and over again. But here it comes. It's probably 94L there, and see, it gets a little too close for comfort on the east coast. Now, this is the 18Z, usually not all that reliable model, but the GFS, has been showing a system out here in the Atlantic, so I would assume that this is 94L here and developed into Isaac and then scrapes along the New England coast. This is really far out here, between 290 and 384 hours out. So it's not the only model, though, showing tropical development in the Atlantic. Here's the Euro model. This is out pretty far as well, but again, here's your tropical system here moving seemingly toward the east coast, and Here's a strong low pressure up here, and get the idea of a trough along the east coast, high pressure here. It's going to be how does these troughs lift out, and where does high pressure set up will determine where things start to steer. Um, but just something to keep in the back of your mind. Something's lurking out here. Maybe something big down the road. Just keep an eye on it for now. This is Wild Weather for liveweatherblogs.com. Keep the tropics in the back of your mind the next week or two, and maybe we'll have something to track.